Hi lovelies, my name is Raina Bello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are coming across this face for the first time, hello, nice to have you on here. Whoa, so it's been a long, interesting and just amazing year all around. I mean, I'm recording this video today, 24th of December, so literally it's Christmas Eve, and it's just a time to like look back and be like, whoa, you actually did do that. I mean, and then most importantly, God saw us through the year, and it's just like a whole moment to just reminisce and count our blessings. And I mean, you should count your blessings every time because God is good all the time. But it's a very profound moment, and just to just look back all through the year and just be like, be grateful for all the blessings, everything that you had to go through, the wins and everything, and just reflect and be thankful. So what exactly do I want to talk about today? Basically just gratitude. I think I just want to talk about gratitude because for me, it's been one heck of a year. I started my YouTube channel like more sensibly this year. And when I say more sensibly, I mean aside from just posting like random stuff, like I started this whole series of me talking in front of a camera like this, and it's been quite a journey from me. I started from somewhere. Okay, I don't want to mention locations, but I started from one place, and then I had problems, like figuring out making my video at that particular place, and then I moved elsewhere, and then it was just a lot paying for locations, and and it was just everything kept on happening gradually and gradually and gradually. But for me, I never really saw the growth. I just saw at the time when all of those, having to move from here to here was happening, for me it was just like the struggle, like I'm exhausted. At the point I even, wasn't posting anymore. And then looking fast forward to today, and I honestly see the growth, and I'm grateful. I mean, as little as anybody might think or say that it is, I am happy for it. I know this is not how I started. I know this is not where I started, and I am just so grateful. And I hope that the most of us out there are really reflecting on this period to just be grateful, like profoundly grateful for the things, the little things, the big things, because it's been a lot. It's been a lot. And eventually there's a lot of growth that happened in the process, because I started to realize that sometimes to get to where you are going to, you just got to use what you have. Like, you got to make do of what you have in the moment. You got to make do of what you have in the moment. You don't just, if you keep condemning that little resource or the little resources that you have in the now, you probably will not be making that journey to achieving whatever bigger picture it is that you're looking at in the easiest way. If you just keep nagging about the little things that you have surrounding you, and you're like, oh no, like for example myself, I wanted to do this thing. I kept on going on and on about, I wanted aesthetics, I wanted it to be here, I wanted it to be there. I just started making this complicated system for myself. And funny, another thing that I found out, when people say consistency, like to actually win this thing, consistency matters a lot. I felt, okay, it was just about showing up all the time. No, it's not just about showing up all the time. Consistency helps you win in the sense that it helps you grow, it helps you learn, it helps you understand, and it helps you get better. Let me give an example. And I started making my videos. I would make a video today. I would be like, oh, this is perfect, this is nice. And when I'm done editing, or maybe in the process of editing, or maybe a friend is watching, I realize, I was hitting my hand on my chest, and then my mic I fumbled my mic. Like, I had it making all these funny sounds. Or I learned that, okay, I was supposed to sit a certain way so that I did not cast my shadow off in a certain way. Or I learned that, oh, my lighting was supposed to have gone this way. Or I learned that, oh, I shouldn't have placed this here. I should have placed this here. And when I learn A today, tomorrow, I'm like, okay, I have figured it out. I'm not gonna make the same A mistake. Then tomorrow again, I make mistake B. I'm like, okay, A and B, good. Then I move on, and I figured A and B. I'm not gonna make that mistake of A and B again. And I move on, C, D. But you get what I'm trying to say? Okay, C, D. That's not a weird one. Don't mind me, guys. But what I'm trying to say is, you get me? Like, you just keep on moving on. You keep on doing it. You keep on getting it wrong. You figure out that you got it wrong, and then you do it again, and then you get it like way better. I mean, another thing that I have learned in the entire process of like figuring out how this year went for me is you can't be impatient about something that you genuinely care for. Like, you can't be impatient with your passion. So this idea of, for example, you putting all of your everything into this, it doesn't work like magic. It doesn't work like that. No. And you can't just keep on hopping from stuff to stuff. You can't just keep on hopping from stuff to stuff. There's a part of the Bible that says that, you can have your hand in this and still not get your hand out of the other. You get me? I don't know if you understand, but even if you feel like, okay, you've been at this for a minute and you need to hop on something else, you can still have a leg in here as well. But you can't say this old story, this old show up that we are being told every time. I promise you, sometimes you just have to wait out the crazy days. Just keep showing up all of those days, and you'll be surprised one day what happens. I mean, I might not be there yet with my YouTube channel, but like with other things that I have, ventured into, I have seen that play out. Like, you pick this, you drop it, and I've come to realize that is just you running away from your battles. There was something that I had to deal with this year, something that I dealt with some years ago, and I entirely fumbled. I messed the entire situation up and complicated the whole damn thing. And I had to go through that same phase again, and I realized that when you're on a boat and you're rowing, and the tide gets crazy, you do not I don't think the next line of action is for you to just drop right in the water, or like just fly into the sea. I think instead, when the going gets tough, you have to toughen up and get going. Literally, like, you just have to, like, sometimes just ride out the storm. You have to, you just have to. Okay, there was something that I had to go through this year, something I'd gone through years back, and I entirely, just made a whole damn mess of the entire situation. Like, I had the older thing complicated and I messed it all up. And then I had to go through the same thing again. And then I thought about it. There are two options. Do I wait and ride out the storm, or do I pick my things up and leave? And then in that process of like thinking and evaluating my situation, I realized that it was more favorable if I waited in this mess that I got myself in, and figure it out. You don't just leave your problems and run. Sometimes that dream, that passion that you're chasing might be looking like it's your problem at the time, because in the space of wanting to make it come true, it's just a whole lot of things that you have to deal with, and you're like, oh no, screw this, I don't have to deal with this. But maybe you actually do. Because more than half the time, actually riding out the storm is what's favorable, not running away like some scary kitty cat. I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy, but I'm saying it turns out to be more favorable in the end. So yeah, basically, you just gotta toughen up. And then, if I've just learned something in the entire of this year, is you just gotta stay strong, keep your head in the game. You can't just chicken out. I mean, and the funny thing, being consistent, showing up all the time, doesn't mean You have to be on your 100 every damn time. Sometimes you show up at percentage 20, sometimes you show up at 10%, sometimes you show up at 1%, sometimes you show up at 0 and tintini%. Yes, tintini is a certified Yoruba word. Sorry, Nigerian word, but you get me. So sometimes you just gotta not take no for an answer and just keep at it and just keep going. And most importantly, stay grateful. Stay grateful. And do not expect ever that life is just supposed to be like smooth, smooth. See, that's the whole point of life. It's always from one thing to another. Honestly speaking, you don't have a car, you pray for a car. Now you have a car, you need money to maintain that car. Or oh, you've been driving it for like some years and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to change this car because now your car is starting to look like kabu kabu, and people are giving you some backhanded comments that you do not like. Now another problem. Crazy. But eventually that's just the crazy thing about life. It's just like when you're in school. Life is like an entire school. Honestly, life is just like a big school. Like from primary school to, I think I mentioned this part before, but you get my point. So life is a huge school. You're just gonna stay learning. You can't drop out. What's wrong with you? Anyways, the whole essence of this episode today is to help us keep ourselves grounded, to stay grateful, and to stay consistent. And then I hope you all have like a beautiful festive celebration. And I honestly, from the deepest part of my heart, do pray that it's a bigger and a better and more prosperous year for us in the ones to come, and the one that is of course coming. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys can hear that sound. It's a lot of knockouts and bangers. I actually love the sound of banger, even though I can't throw it because I can be a chicken sometimes. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'm grateful to all of my, I don't know why I'm making this sound like it's gonna be my last episode, because it might not be, because I said that I could just show up on this space at any time. But regardless, in case it is, because I'm gonna be with family and we're going to be doing family stuff. So yeah, do enjoy the festive season, okay? And I was gonna say something, I can't remember what it was I was going to say, but love you guys, and I mean that for real. Love you guys, and see you in my next one. Bye.